so good.
But
10.
current my age girls, well, ladies, sure. And the Little Caesars at a pool, right? We'll take it.
Women.
Yep.
I don't know. Women our age probably would not go for Little Caesars, so you'd have to up your game a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not paying for this pizza. It's being provided by somebody, so...
Okay, well, if you're not providing the pizza, then
Yeah, I'm not
I
doing
guess
that.
you should make a request. Get something a little bit better.
You supply the pizza, I'll supply the eye candy. Hello and welcome back to RTFB. This is Travis, and today Chris, Danielle, and I are doing our movie discussion. In this case, of course, the movie is Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Quick reminder, if you wanted to watch this movie before we mostly spoil it, as of right now, it seems to be available to rent from your usual suspects of streaming platforms, or probably out there on a pre-owned shelf, or library, or Amazon if you're desperate. Or just listen to us and let it play in the theater of your mind. Anyway, you aren't here for random preamble, so let's get back to my conversation with Danielle and the Chris's already in progress. So did you see this one movie?
I did. It was a movie.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it the other day.
Yeah, me too.
I was mostly impressed by how well my Xbox did with them 4K graphics on the disc I have.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
On my TV, I'm like, this looks really good.
Yeah.
Like, these colors are like I hadn't watched it in like 3 years probably.
Yeah.
I'm like, these colors are just fucking banging right now. Good on you, people.
Right.
Like, all this stuff came together right, and I'm like, this is nice.
Did you have an edible before you watched it, or like?
No, but I kind of wish I had.
Oh, okay.
That would have made it a lot better.
Yeah.
This movie is great for people who are high or who are toddlers. They're like, look at these colors.
Yeah.
Dude. Whoa. Dude.
The whole movie is just one long shot of jingling keys.
With very colorful background.
With some new, we'll jazz it up by adding some new James Webb Telescope pictures in the back.
Yeah.
So
That
that'll
would be
make it
great.
space. Yeah.
That would be great.
Space.
I watched a couple of the little features afterwards, and I'm like, I feel cheated on Cara Delevingne's character
Because
she's a giant goofball.
Oh, yeah.
And,
In real life?
does all this, like, they're showing in between takes, and she's just laughing and having a good time.
Yeah.
And I feel like they told her, like, okay, pretend to be serious all the time. And that's Laureline. Like, don't laugh too hard at Valerian, but you should be thinking that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does kind of suck, because, you know, part of Laureline's character in the comic is that she's, like, fucking sarcastic and...
Yeah, and she's a little more cheerful
playful?
sometimes about stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, she's much more playful.
Yeah.
So,
You know.
like, I totally got her vibes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Laureline. There's Valerian off getting chased by a dog thing and dragged around the yard, and she's getting the business done, and then going to save him. Like, that, they got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
You know.
That, like, that's one of the things that's really fucking hilarious to me about this. The way that they've marketed this in the U.S. is like even the comic is just called Valerian. The movie is just called Valerian.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, she's most of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, the actual title of it is Valerian and Laureline.
Right.
Right.
But even then, it's kind of funny that his name comes first. Like, she's the
That's
main
how it
character
was.
in my mind.
Yeah. I can
Right.
see that. It's
She's
really
definitely
about
the
her.
MVP. Speaking
Yeah.
of
She
MVPs,
is.
Here I am.
look who's here.
Hooray!
Oh my god.
I'm here.
Whoa.
Hello.
Whoa. She's like recovering from all the little Caesar's pizza she had at the pool party. Let me see. Can I make my camera do better?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, you're fine on my computer.
Oh, okay.
We don't care what we look
You
like.
both look fantastic.
My hair is still wet from the shower, but at least I took one. And
Right.
didn't come straight from the pool party.
Forgot to tell you that Daniel requested kitten cam, so...
Oh yeah, where are the kittens? I need to see them.
They're through that door and through another door.
Oh, they're busy doing cat shit.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't bring my phone up. I feel so empty. Oh my god.
How are you gonna
How are you
ignore
going to
this?
distract yourself
Yeah.
during our horrible conversation?
Wait,
don't
you're just
have
gonna
it.
have to sit there? Oh
Oh
no.
my God.
Terrible.
I had a fun experience when I picked up my pills the other day.
Uh-oh.
And then the pharmacist was like, "Hey, you want some COVID tests?" And I'm like, "Sure." It's like, "All right, let me get them for you." I'm like, "Okay, free." He's like, "Should be free with your insurance." I'm like, "All right." Or I'm the only one here. I'm like, "Are you guys like trying to get rid of your supply here?"
Hey.
He's like, hey, you look like you could use some COVID.
Yeah.
Did he say it with like a wink and he was hoping for
Yeah.
some other?
Practically.
You look
but
like
no.
the kind of guy
Yeah, that you
who
need a
wants
COVID
some
test.
COVID tests.
Which, I mean, doesn't hurt to have. I think we've used
No.
2 of our government ones from earlier.
So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
government
yeah.
ones, like they sent, did not have very late expiration dates, and in fact, a
Yeah.
lot of them are like already expired. My mom's like, "Make sure you throw away the ones that are expired; they won't work." I'm like, "I used the expired ones, and
I
yeah,
think
still
they'll
positive,
Still work
still
for a
positive."
while.
Mm-hmm.
But I will have to say, Walmart gave me the Binax ones. They're the nice ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have like 8 of those now. Hopefully, I won't need more for a little while.
Yeah.
I feel like those are
We'll
better
see.
than the orange one.
Just gotta infect everyone all at once.
Yeah,
We'll be
like
fine.
my boss said, "Listen, just don't test yourself. Then you won't know that you have it, and you can go enjoy your trip."
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. Yeah.
You can be like everyone else by doing that.
Yep.
Like literally everyone who doesn't give a shit.
Although I
Yeah.
think, maybe next month or October, we can get new boosters that have the Omicron shit in it.
Ooh.
Yes, I mean Travis
So-
and I have that we're testing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
But we got those in March, so like I don't know how we're gonna see how they do against the
Yeah.
Omicron in our house.
You have an experiment going right now.
Sure
Yeah.
do. I can't wait till they call to ask me if I have a direct contact. Like, boy, did I ever.
Yeah,
I
unfortunately.
feel like we talked about this before, but yeah, when we're doing like a test for that variant that's coming out of the 4th booster,
Mhm.
4th shot, and I had to do like a pretty full history when you first showed up. And there are things like, so what are your birth control methods? I'm like, what? Like, you can't get pregnant during this, so what are your birth control methods? I'm like, well, I don't have a uterus, so that's the first thing.
Yeah, but do you know how this works, Travis? You know where babies come from.
Yeah, they were like really like they didn't like my answer.
Like hard kissing.
that like they're like, oh, that's not enough. I'm like, oh, we also have this with it, and they're like, okay, that's good. I'm like, yeah, we don't have that. But
Our birth control method is we don't like
so
each
like
other
you
very
can't get
much.
pregnant during this. It's like the fuck I can't. I can do whatever I want. Like I don't even have to show up to these tests anymore if I don't want to. Like they say you can drop out at any time.
Uh-huh.
You just don't get your paycheck anymore.
Say, don't you want that check?
I do,
Sweet,
yeah.
sweet check.
I do want that for our Universal trip that's going to be in March. Like, we got to buy all the souvenirs and food and stuff.
Yeah, it'll be helpful.
Yes, so yes, we'll keep going. But like one, I'm not going to get.
I don't know. I was gonna say whatever you guys do is probably pretty effective. So I don't know. Like
We've only got the 2.
you've got the 2, and you
Knock
seem
on
pretty
wood.
good with that. No more have arrived. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I have learned that some cats like the spray cheese from a can.
Oh yeah.
Our
My,
cat's fat
my cat
uses that.
probably would.
And
Yeah.
Gypsy was like, "What the fuck is this amazing shit?
If it's
I don't
nice,
care that you just stuck a
they'll like
thermometer
it."
up my ass. This is amazing."
My cat
She's like, "Why don't we have this at home?"
likes
the thermometer
regular
or
cheese.
the cheese.
At that point, she probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Like
She'd
our
be like,
cats,
"I don't know."
Our cats are like, whatever you're eating, I want some. I'm like, okay, here's a piece of sea salt popcorn, and they're like, oh,
No, I don't want
no,
that.
I don't want
Yeah.
that at all.
Yeah, hmm
Or even chicken. Sometimes I like
Cats just like to smell it.
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
Whatever it is you have, you can just set it in front of their face for a second. And they're like, okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'll try to eat it.
Yeah.
Right.
They like the
But-
lunch meat, like
Oh,
Lucy,
man.
that screams
Oh,
at
yes.
you from across the house when the
Yeah.
lunch.
River is notorious. She will steal the meat off of your sandwich if you're not careful.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
Gypsy will just sniff it, and then if I give her a piece, she'll eat it.
Yeah.
But River's like, I'm going to take this, and there's nothing you can do about it if you missed me doing it.
I just want to see some kittens, and I'm really disappointed about it.
Oh, well, you're going to be waiting for a while.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
They're in the other room.
I think it's too hard to move the camera.
Sharon.
I know,
Yeah.
I don't
It's like
even
you
have
don't even have your
I
phone,
can't
so what
even,
are you going
message
to
her.
Sharon, assist.
Anyway, let's get going so I can go get my phone.
Okay.
You could go get your phone now if you want.
No, that's all right. I will truly just...
Oh, hey, Danielle.
Yeah.
So you saw this movie, right?
I did. I stayed awake and everything. I was
Oh, wait. Oh,
engaged.
whoa, hold on. I'm
Nice.
ahead of myself. We didn't do the question.
Oh, I hate that part.
I know. That's why we got to do it. So I had to remind myself what it even was because it was like months ago, but I went and looked at it. So this is like a cult classic, comic book favorite. So what cult or favorite movie or comic book do you think people should be checking out?
What?
Like a movie or something that not a lot of people know about that you really like?
Something that not a lot of people know about that I like.
Yep, and you think they should check out.
Maybe a shitty CW show?
No, I don't want... I've outgrown those.
Oh.
Not since
I'm not going to recommend those anymore.
Everwood and One Tree Hill.
Everwood was pretty great, and they screwed that up. When they're like, oh, it's renewed. Oh, wait, Seventh Heaven that's ending after however many years got like the highest viewer rating for the very last episode ever. That clearly means that we should bring it back for another season.
No, that means
Like,
everybody
no,
tuned in to
everyone
see
was
the end.
wrapping it up. So
Yeah.
they canceled Everwood, brought that back, and then guess what? Seventh Heaven failed.
Of course.
Idiots. I hope all those people got fired.
They probably have by now.
I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
Oh. Well, we're just going to sit here and look at you until you do.
I don't know. I
That's
said
right.
Everwood. Isn't that good enough? Everwood's fine.
Okay,
Good
well,
enough
what about
in my
Everwood
book.
then?
You can watch Everwood.
Like, why would you watch that?
Because Ephraim.
Because Treat Williams is so cool?
Treat Williams was pretty cool, but Ephraim.
And there was a
Everyone should
bear
have
in
an
that guy's
Ephraim.
office once?
He was all... yeah, he had a bear.
Was he like... He was a doctor, right? Not a
Yes.
vet? There
No,
just
he was
happened
a
to be a
doctor.
bear?
Yeah.
And
They moved to Colorado or something. I
yeah,
think it was Everwood, Colorado. I don't think that's really a place.
yeah.
Because his wife that died said that they should go there, so he went there.
Okay.
Mm.
And Chris Pratt was in it.
Chris Pratt was in it, and like he was a jerk in it, but I liked that. He was good in that role.
Mm-hmm.
That was before he's like gotten kind of crazy now.
Before he's popular.
Yeah.
He's
That's
gone
what
a
helped him
little
become
like
popular.
off the Christian deep end lately.
He married a Schwarzenegger.
Well,
I
have
keep
another
forgetting
kid.
he did that.
Yeah.
I know I can never forgive him for divorcing Anna Faris. Like she was so good,
Oh, yeah.
and then now he's married to this other one. Like idiot.
Downgrade.
I mean, it's better for her probably. He doesn't deserve her.
Mm-hmm.
But
I had a just a side note. Anna Faris is like my celebrity crush.
Yeah.
oh, I love
A wise, a
Fully
good one.
justified.
her.
Say what?
Fully justified.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because she's cute and she's funny,
Yeah.
exactly.
and she's
She's
just
super
like
funny.
so likable in all of her movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And she has a great podcast I've not listened to.
Oh.
So
I think
I've
she
heard it's
got
good.
remarried.
Did you just say she
I
has a
think
great
she did.
podcast I've never heard?
That I haven't listened to. Yeah.
Okay.
It has good reviews and things pop up. People talk about it, but
Yeah.
I've not listened to it yet.
I feel like I did listen to one, or she was a guest on another podcast I heard talking about it, but I don't remember if I went and checked it out. But I also hear it's pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, why the Ferris wheel? Like, why did they set up the Ferris wheel that one time for Everwood? When they were going to cancel it, I remember you talking about them
yes,
setting up a
okay.
Ferris wheel.
So like they in the show, like the Amy Abbott was trying to lure Ephraim back to like her after all the stuff.
Wait, which one was that?
Ephraim?
No, Amy Abbott. She's
She's
the
the
one who
blonde.
was in Captain America?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
She set up like a Ferris wheel. I don't remember why. I think it had something to do with something like in one of the very first episodes. Maybe they were at a carnival. It's been a long time since I've watched any of those. But then after it was getting canceled, like fans like paid to have like a Ferris wheel set up in front of the CW executives' offices or whatever to be like bring Everwood back, and it didn't work.
Yep.
Wasn't always.
On the WB, and then when it switched to the CW, that's when everything went to shit.
That's what the official line is that it got fucked up and canceled from the merger.
Yeah.
So
because it was going to go over with the CW, and then they're like, "Oh, it's Seventh Heaven! Look at these ratings!" It's like, y'all, the fact that you
because
didn't
it ended. That's why people liked it.
And the fact that they didn't recognize that was the reason, like, really makes them the stupidest people.
What?
Right?
TV executives making poor decisions.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
It's all about getting them eyeballs.
Yeah, you should watch it. It was a good show.
Like Warner Brothers properties and getting fucked over during mergers. Like, can you name a more iconic duo? Like, it's just what they do. They merge with someone else and they ruin all their shit.
They canceled a bunch of good shows.
The CW is like softcore.
It's basically done. Yeah.
Porn channel
what?
With the stuff that
wait, what?
On it.
It is?
Hang on, wait, what?
CW, their shows are all like really inappropriate now.
Are they?
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're
because they've been slowly ending their superhero shows.
Yeah.
Hang on. So let me take some notes here. What are some examples of shows that are softcore pornography?
I don't think you'll be interested in them.
Oh, you don't know him.
They're real stupid.
Well, you never know. Don't make that decision for me.
God, what's that one? I can't even remember what they're called. Like, I've seen them pop up and I'm like, that is so dumb. Like, just remember the Secret Life of the American Teenager. And it's gotten
that was Freeform though.
It's gotten, but like it was like it's shows like that worse, but on the CW.
I'm gonna look this up. Current CW shows.
Pornography.
Tom Swift is a show. So I guess that's just a bunch of puns.
No, I think that was the spin-off from Nancy Drew, as I recall, but I can't remember. I heard about it like a month ago, and that it was already canceled.
I mean, you remember Vampire Diaries and like the originals? And,
there is a Nancy Drew. What the hell?
How they got...
There's 3 seasons of Nancy Drew on the CW, and we haven't covered it?
Yeah.
Well, like, how much basically. Can we show without having to have an MA rating?
Is Riverdale still on?
Riverdale might still be on.
Charmed is on again.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's sticking around, though, the Charmed reboot.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Who watches TV
I watched
like
the first episode of that. It was meh.
The Power of 3. Set us free. Or whatever.
So according to this May 19th article, CW fall schedule has Winchester's, Stargirl, All Walker Thursday, Flash, Superman and Lois, held for mid-season.
Oh yeah, that Walker show is on
I bet
there.
that Stargirl is the one
Flash is still going, huh?
That's pornographic.
Oh, Flash.
So Superman and Lois are being held for mid-season along with the new DC entry Gotham Knights.
Something about the Flash, like I watched the first few seasons of it, you know?
Yeah.
Those were good seasons of it for
every
that show.
single episode opens with him saying, like, I'm Barry Allen and I'm the fastest man alive. And then every episode is about someone being faster than him.
That was the first few seasons.
That's how you
Every episode is like, oh my god, there's another fast guy out here.
Yeah.
How is he faster than me?
Right.
And then how does he overcome it? Does he just run faster?
He just goes faster.
That's crazy.
Sometimes he runs back in time.
Whoa. That's kind of what Flash does, though.
So is this the Flash that's not arrested?
That's the one.
Yeah, this is the good Flash.
All right.
This is the one that people are like, just have him be your movie Flash. Let's have one that's actually in a show, in a movie. And they're like, no, we're going to do Ezra Miller. But he is supposed to be brought in through some extra scenes, I think, maybe at some point in one of these Flash universe movies. So then the fans can have their moment of hooray.
Well, they should, because Ezra Miller just keeps getting arrested.
Maybe they should just flip him.
Just put Michael Keaton in his role, too. That's why I was going to see the Flash movie anyway.
Yeah, basically.
They got rid of Amber Heard. They can get rid of Ezra Miller and
They got rid of Amber Heard finally?
Yeah, I heard that they pushed
did.
Aquaman even later because they're doing reshoots now.
After her trial.
I think they're taking her all out.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, yeah.
As they should, because she's not
Unfortunately, like, they weren't committed
really
to the Flash
wasn't.
movie to begin with, so they're probably not really going to airbrush out Ezra Miller. They're just going to wait till it's not so controversial, from what I heard.
They're going to do the Lone Ranger thing.
Or it's all recorded and they'll do, like, Batgirl or whatever. Be like, no, we're not going to.
No, they've canned that one. They took her right off on
We're not going
Batgirl.
to release it. It's fine. We wasted all this money at the end.
Yeah.
Man.
I can't believe Scooby-Doo also. Like, seems like such a layup to make money.
Well, they got a new CEO there from their new merger, and he's all about chopping projects, saving some money. So
Yeah.
He's gonna like it when people start chopping their subscriptions.
Oh shit. Burned.
I mean, I already don't watch the CW much anyways, so there's really nothing.
I only
Oh,
watched
I'm
it on
talking about
Habo
other
Max.
ones now.
So,
What am I talking about?
Oh, yeah.
HBO Max.
Yeah, that's part of the
No,
same
that'll
thing.
happen eventually too. But
Cancel
they
it
got that
on
House of
Sunday.
the Dragon. That was okay last week.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch that.
Didn't?
You should.
Nope.
Should?
We're
It's
gonna
good.
watch it again tonight, so see where it goes.
It's got a Doctor Who in it.
It does, and it's very interesting to see him not be the
Wait,
Doctor.
which one?
Matt Smith, the goofy looking one.
I don't like that guy. I mean,
The 11th
he's a
Doctor.
fine actor, but like he looks weird.
He does.
It's
We had a
I don't
joke
know. It's the way he
last
speaks.
night.
His mouth is weird.
It's got melty face.
We kind of made a joke last night talking about him. About he's basically Quentin Tarantino playing Henry Cavill being Geralt. Because he got a little more buff to be this Targaryen, not too much, and he's got the white hair, so
Yeah. I gotcha.
We watched the rest of the Sandman. That was good.
We
I
gotta
haven't
save that
watched
for
that.
later.
we
Gotta save that for
didn't.
later. We gotta talk about this movie now.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're right. We're
Okay.
35 minutes in. We should probably talk about this movie.
Gosh, sorry.
Shit. Anyway, so hey, we saw this movie, right?
We did.
Uh-huh.
We saw it.
Yeah.
Danny, surprise everybody by telling them what you thought.
Me?
Yes, you.
I thought it was okay.
What?
I liked it. I
Nice.
didn't hate it. I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for, I don't think that Cara Delevingne has any type of emotion.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
We were talking about that because
Yeah.
I watched when I have it on the fancy Blu-rays, the 4K one, because I really liked it when I first saw it a few times. And I was watching a thing, Danielle, and like she's a total goofball, like super fun and emotion, like
off
Yeah,
camera.
but it
makes
doesn't
people
come
laugh. But they
across.
didn't let her do that in the movie.
Yeah, I was
She's so vanilla.
I
Yeah.
was saying before, like I don't think we were recording when I was talking about this, but like I absolutely
I
think
was.
that the acting would have been fine. It's just the writing and directing in this
Yeah,
particular
for that.
case that failed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they put so much into bringing the world to life and getting the visuals right that they didn't
Yeah,
end
Yeah.
up writing well for the actors that they picked.
right.
Right.
Even though it took them a while, and I remember them talking about
I think-
oh yeah, Dane DeHaan's out of projects for like 2 years because he's making the Valerian movie with Luc Besson.
I don't
And,
even know who
like
this guy is. What else has he been in?
a bunch of
This-
things.
You know, stuff.
I couldn't tell you. I'd have to look it up.
Everyone's favorite shows.
He didn't look familiar to me, but like I thought that I don't feel like he was really displaying much emotion either. But maybe just a tad more than her.
He wasn't. Now that I watched it for like the third time, so I was kind of not pleased with their performances. But again, that's up to the director more than the
Right.
actors.
He was in.
He
The
was
Amazing
Harry
Spider-Man
Osborn
2,
in Amazing
yeah.
Spider-Man 2.
He was
Oh.
indeed.
Who was he?
Yep.
Harry
Lockhart
Osborn.
in A Cure for Wellness.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Chris Linwood in 000. I don't know. He's born in 1986. Oh, he's only 5'8",
Whoa.
Oh,
according to
Yep.
Wikipedia.
Whoa.
yeah. I guess he did look kind of
Yeah.
short.
I think for me that was kind of the thing is there like all the pieces were there for this movie to be really good,
Oh, he
but
went to
something
school here.
about just didn't quite work for me, and I
It
guess
didn't
was-
gel.
I guess
Yeah.
it was the chemistry between the two
Yeah.
leads.
And even back when the movie came out, I remember for criticisms that was the biggest one was the chemistry between them.
Yeah.
It just wasn't
Yeah.
there.
And like
Well,
I started to think about it, I'm like everything I was trying to deconstruct. I'm like, yeah, but that's true in the comic too. Like the random sci-fi shit that's got no explanation, and like
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
sort of fighting. It just seemed more playful, I guess, in the comic.
Oh.
I feel
Apparently
like
Dane
she was
DeHaan
trying
went to school
be
here.
playful, but it just came
Yeah.
across as like, what are you even talking
Yeah.
about? What are you doing?
They didn't let her have her emotion in it. Like, it
Yeah.
just didn't.
And
It
he
was
was
just
like,
like,
"Oh, I'm a soldier first." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
Are you though? Like
No,
no,
you're
that
not.
that line when that came out, like I said, the
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What? You're a soldier? What the fuck are you talking about? You're like the least responsible
I'm like,
person in
right.
the universe.
Like, no, you're
we
not. You're a
started,
goofy
we
time
started
agent.
the movie with you being late,
right.
Yeah.
which is an actual correct characterization.
Yeah, that's on
Right.
point for Valerian.
you being like, I always follow the rules.
No.
Like, what?
Mm-mm.
The
Valerian
fuck you
does not.
do?
Yeah.
He
I
stops
also
to have a
liked
drink
it.
along the way.
I also liked it how he's like, yeah, like, I want to marry you. I'm like, what? Are these two supposed to be a thing? Because I've just been introduced. And now
So,
Right.
so here's my take on that. I think that Luc Besson knew that he was never going to get another movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is the Valerian movie.
Right.
Like, there's not going to be a series, right? So he's like, gotta take all of the things that he wants to do in a Valerian movie and
Yep.
put them in a Valerian movie.
Right.
And if that means like forcing them to get married like way faster than you actually think
Right.
makes any kind of sense, then that's what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you got to hit all of the plot points that you want.
Right. Yeah, and that's, I think, where I ended up also is like, okay, assuming this is the only time you get to play with these characters, you can't exactly draw that out and
Yeah,
have like a moonlighting situation.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is on it, like exactly what they should have done, though.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and even in I haven't read nearly that many comics in the whole series, but it seems like in the ones I have read, it's kind of like hinted that they're playfully dating, sort of, but maybe
Yeah,
it's not a big
Especially
deal
later.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just assume that they're like flirting forever.
That's my assumption. They just flirt around each other.
Right.
You know, they rely on each other and they care about each other, but they just kind of
Yeah.
have fun otherwise. So
Yeah. They're just two buds hanging out in the galaxy. Sometimes
Yeah.
you do it, but it's not a thing.
right.
That's very French.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it should have been like in Dragon Tattoo. Just occasionally you just sleep with people.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Not a big
Right.
deal.
It's fine.
Just friends.
And I think I also got hung up a lot on the title because they called it the City of 1,000 Planets, but in fact was like just a really big space station with a lot of zones.
Made up of people, 1,000 planets. Species,
People
I
from
guess.
1,000 planets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could have just called like. I don't feel like that particular comic was popular enough to be like, oh shit, I'm going to see that. That was my
Yeah.
favorite comic.
Right.
They just called it Valerian. Like, okay, I'll come, but
Right.
like the story arc of City of 1,000 Planets is going to put my butt in a seat.
Well, I mean, they had the same issue, I think, with like, what was it, John Carter, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like, ooh, come see John Carter. Like, people are like, what the fuck is John Carter? Because
Yeah.
nobody remembers Edgar Rice Burroughs. Nobody remembers this character.
Because that's not
Right.
a relevant property anymore.
So like, well, what do you call like fucking something about Mars? I guess
Like, they
Yeah.
probably could have still slapped, like, Princess of Mars on there, and some people would have come, but I don't think
Yeah.
it was that book.
Yeah.
No,
but they were going to
I
create,
don't
like, a
think it
whole
was.
universe out of it, and then it failed so
Right.
bad.
Failed
Well,
really
of course
hard.
it did.
But,
Yeah.
and I watched it, like, it was kind of fun, but I'm also like, I think it's a hard sell in this day and age for that one especially. Like, look at all these
Yeah.
people that were on Mars. Well, we
Yep.
know for sure, like, there was never anybody there. Like,
Right.
alternate
But
Mars, you jump through a universe barrier, like, come on.
Yeah.
I do love the idea though of like I don't know I like classic sci-fi, so I like
sure.
movies where they're like, oh, the Venusians and the
Yeah. No, it's fun in that context to appreciate it for that way.
Yeah.
But I mean they should be making new movies with fucking
Yeah.
Venusians,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like sexy ladies coming to visit Earth
Yeah.
Right.
and then murder us all.
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, especially with like John Carter, it's not got the kind of cachet I think that they were hoping for,
No,
Yeah.
it really doesn't.
which might be the whole point you're trying to make. And I'm
But
just
like in
regurgitating it,
1950, that probably would have done really well.
but yeah. Because there's
So-
no reason to just take that property and slap it on there and be like, good, come see the new John Carter flick, instead of being like,
Yeah.
we created our own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very similar to that, but different. But anyway, my point is, like, I don't think a lot of people in America were like, City of a Thousand Planets, my favorite. I'm definitely seeing this now.
Yeah, so most of us don't know this comic.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing, so it's kind of like, what is this?
Yeah. And so once I stopped trying to find where it was going to fit into that comic arc, I'm like, oh, okay, I can enjoy this a little more.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, they sort of kind of kept it that the Na'vi people were sort of like the Enlightens in that comic book, but then not really. So,
well, and they showed like they apparently drew that story from a totally different one.
Yeah, I figured
in the
that
Valerian
was
line because they have still shots of it in the making of things,
right?
But it wasn't that named comic,
right?
It was one of the others. So,
yep.
Don't know.
They just called it Valerian in the World of Tomorrow.
They had the big, nice alien market.
Yeah, they did have that.
So that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
that was neat. Although again, like I couldn't quite just turn off my brain and try to figure out how this was working.
What do you mean?
Like when you put your arm through the thing,
yeah,
like you can be impacted by both sides of it. I guess like you're both places at once.
Your hand and the other half of the box are in the other place, and your body is in the current place.
Yeah,
right.
You've got fucking trouble in both places.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yes.
And there were like ships taking off at that market, but only in the augmented reality. I guess that's just to make it look like a market more than anything, but...
And it just shows they just make holograms of stuff if you're on that other planet.
Yeah.
Everything, vice versa a little bit, so...
And again, like that different. Shit was all over the comics we read too, and I didn't stop and think about it then, so...
Yeah.
Solar sailors and stuff, but... Anyway. Danielle, I think, brought up a very crucial thing to consider. Were those pearls that the thing pooped out the same that they're washing their faces with?
Probably.
They put them right on their face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a replicator thing. Like, I think it just falls out of its underside.
Yeah,
like
it shits it out.
We'll put it on their face. That's your makeup. Ready to go.
I think they wash them first.
Didn't seem to.
They put it right in that little bowl, bird bath thing.
But that stuff I thought they poured into their planet vent.
No, maybe so.
So
they did do that also.
They just put shit on their
planet
face.
Vent.
Yeah.
I couldn't get past it.
It's just the one hole in the planet where you can put all the pearls.
I got the impression there's more of those, but that was just the one located where they were.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
like, what would you feed into your own personal replicator pet?
Money.
Like Zumbas or
Gold.
something? Like Razzles?
Yeah.
Money for sure.
Yeah, I would get one gold coin that's expensive, and then have it do that, and have like 1 billion of them.
Ruin the market for him.
No, I just hold on to them, and then I'd never be poor. So,
perfect.
Just sell them off as I need them.
Perfect.
You need to find a coin guy though who's like not going to ask too many questions.
Right.
I got to find a few of those, probably in a few different cities.
Yeah, you probably do.
Because I can bring in a lot and be like, look what I found, inherited, got from somebody, like here.
Yeah.
And then be like, all right. But
I was glad to hear that the Ivy League survived all the way to the 28th century.
Right? I was
know.
surprised. Yeah.
And I guess
seems like Earth made it all the way too.
Yeah. She came from the 1000 AD and went straight to Harvard.
Apparently.
After her mnemonic training.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Like I wanted that plot line. I wanted to see Cara Delevingne turned into a unicorn.
Yeah. Right?
That
would
be
know that was a possibility.
That would have been great.
Like don't, fucking cowards. Make that movie.
I mean, she's already English. She could have an accent.
Yeah.
So
I want to see him crumpled up in a giant leaf, and she has to rescue him.
Right?
Yeah. I want to see a movie that starts off as fucking hard sci-fi and turns into the fucking Hobbit.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. There was no time travel.
That would
at
have
all
been
in
fun.
this.
No, there wasn't.
They're just federal agents, like space agents.
Unless you count space jumps, there was no time travel.
Yeah.
I really liked how they put their seatbelts on, though.
They did all the time.
They liked
just
that
put
effect.
their arms out and they would do the thing.
They wanted to make sure that you saw that.
Yep,
Yeah.
and I did. And I'm like,
Well,
look at that seatbelt action.
Well, because they did have callbacks to it where the guy like in the submarine was like seatbelt, and she didn't
she's like,
do it in
"What?"
time,
Yeah.
and she was like fucking all over the place.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
that might have been when I was in the bathroom. I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, she did. She
Yeah, that
bounced
happened.
all over.
You were supposed
She
to tell
did
me
right
something
back into her
important
seat.
So there you go.
Yeah, but he's like, I told you.
It's very important in this universe that you wear your seatbelt.
Gotta do it.
She didn't know how to do that seatbelt in the ocean.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that Dane DeHaan kind of seemed like he was doing Keanu Reeves in Point Break. I'm a U.S. agent the whole time. And again,
A little
like,
bit.
we probably talked about this enough already, but like in the comics, I didn't get that impression. He was like, I'm soldier guy.
Right.
Like, there's only so many Han Solos you can have in your movie, but that's more what I was thinking of.
Right.
Somebody who's like, well, I mean, I work for the government or whatever, but
Yeah.
I'll just get things done however I need to.
They needed to show him with a drink in his hand more, I feel like.
Right. Yeah. They're like,
Agreed.
well, he wears kind of fun, sort of like Fear and Loathing type outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be his fun personality, I guess. Sort of look like he's going to go on a bender sometime, but not in this
There
film.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought the visuals were all really good.
Yes.
I felt this movie was way older than it is. It's
Yeah, it's only
what?
2017.
17,
Is what it
but-
said.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I especially liked the marketplace with the multicolored clouds. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff once he was wearing Rihanna as an outfit.
Oh yeah. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, talk about a good actress.
Right.
Man, they couldn't have done any better.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Who else would play Bubble?
Literally anyone.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be
Apparently
anybody.
not. Nope. They
Who
needed
else?
her,
Who else could they convince to?
her singing chops.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And I'm like, oh, well, she sings this song at the end. No, she fucking doesn't. It's Cara Delevingne at the end. That's her singing the
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
So, like, Rihanna was useless
Yeah. In most things,
in most things.
but especially
Oh.
in this. She just parlayed her sweet role in Battleship into sci-fi stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She should just not. She should stick to music.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that.
Yeah, like,
Get
and
an
I don't want
EGOT
to hear
that
it.
way.
Somebody
Fashion.
probably does.
I'm sure she'll take it to heart. Like, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Millions of
can't get
dollars
an
that
EGOT.
Ah,
You can't do
yeah.
EGOT with that mindset. You got to keep making the movies till you get one.
They should have gotten Christina Aguilera for her burlesque performances.
Oh my god. She could be like, trilling up and down. Oh, better
runs all
yet,
the time.
Beyonce. What was she doing?
Oh, yeah, she didn't need this movie.
They probably asked her, and she said no.
She's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
They could have gotten Lady Gaga. She would have gone for that stuff.
Yeah, she would
She
have.
she could have
She
been
would've.
the jellyfish that they wore on her head to have memories.
Yep. She would have liked that role.
Like, especially there, I'm like, this would have been a great time to have flashbacks to stuff that didn't happen in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
I guess it was supposed to be the jellyfish's memories merge. I don't know. But that's
Don't
where it could have
worry
been
about
like,
it.
remember back
Production
when I was a
budget.
unicorn?
Right.
Or
any other thing they've done.
when we went back
Remember
to
some
the
weird
80s.
shit?
They don't time travel.
Listen, I
in
only
this.
get 1 minute. Could you, like, speed up to the stuff I haven't seen?
Yeah.
I remember all this.
Yeah.
They're
remember
not
that.
time agents in this. They're just space agents.
Yeah, I guess.
So
They could cut that part out of the whole job title. But, yeah.
It just so happens that they weren't doing any time shit this time.
and
Yeah.
they did help uncover a genocide.
Which is important.
I mean,
You know.
Yeah, you know, it's probably says more about my memory than the movie, but like, why? Why was he genociding them again? Like, it was going to
He
take
didn't
too long
do
to
it-
save
it
them.
was an accident.
Yeah, he didn't
Basically.
mean to,
Space
but
battle, and it,
yeah,
like,
he had
they were
to end
collateral
that
damage.
battle.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, he had to decisively end that war, and he didn't really realize till it was too late that there were actually people on that planet, which I got
The guy-
confused because they kept saying, oh, Planet Mule had no life on it.
So
Like,
Yeah.
well, then how do you have this rare mule converter? Where the fuck did that come from?
yeah, so
If
so
there's no
first,
life.
First they said there's no life, and then
Yeah.
they said there was no intelligent life,
Right.
and then they said, well, there's just this primitive race.
Yeah.
And it got covered up.
And by the time he was like, well, there's just this primitive race. He's like, well, fuck those savages.
Yeah, we're gonna end this war right now.
Yeah.
We lost like 500,000 guys or whatever in one battle.
And then the guy who told him, like, oh, well, there's like a primitive race on the planet, like he fucking murdered him later, so he didn't tell anybody.
Gotcha.
Sounds like our government today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Burn After Reading?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I see that?
You did.
I've heard of it. Did I watch it?
You did.
Did
You went
Brad
with me
Pitt?
and saw it.
Brad
and
Pitt's
George
in
Clooney
it.
had a sex chair.
Is that
Yeah.
was that the wedge? Was that the thing with who somebody was carrying around a wedge pillow?
Yes.
Yes.
Brad Pitt was?
Yes.
George.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was, or George Clooney was, but
No, it was Brad Pitt. He had the sex pillow.
George Clooney made the rocking chair with the dildo attachment, though. So, yeah.
What a weird movie.
That's the point I remember about the movie. I don't remember the actual plot at all.
I don't remember anything that happened in it.
The actual plot was basically like people infiltrating an ex-spy who like they thought was going to be writing down like super secret shit, but it was just his like horrible novel.
That's
right.
right.
And so like they went in and tried to steal his novel, and like he ended up like killing Brad Pitt and fleeing the country, and like and then J. Jonah Jameson, whose like name I can't remember at the moment, was like,
we know who you mean.
Yeah, was like so wait, why'd he flee the country? What happened? What's going like so should we? His assistant is like, so should we try to get him back? And he's like, no, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Like basically the government like is trying to follow all of the bullshit that happened.
Yeah.
They're like, basically like, no, we don't care that anyone got murdered. We don't care at all. Like, let them go to Argentina or whatever.
Sounds like our government. No?
Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, you know, that's what happened in this movie too. Like, oh, there was cool, whatever. Like, classify it. It's fine.
Yeah.
We won't talk about it anymore.
Right. Right. I like the part where Valerian was suddenly the Juggernaut.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Just
that was
all
different.
shit. Just because, I guess.
Well, you know, he got the suit, man.
Yeah. Gotta use the suit.
Gotta use the budget for special effects.
And boy, did they ever.
And it was shortly after that he's like, okay, I'm captured and need to be rescued. So he had his moment of competence, and then had to be saved by his assistant.
Once again, like, why is this movie called Valerian?
Right.
Yeah, I felt like it was more about her.
Yeah.
It was definitely more about her.
So I'm like, there you go. It just makes sense in this day and age. Like, forget the woman. We're gonna focus on the man. It was all about her.
Even that would be part of her character complaining about that too. Like, she did it in the comic more than once. Like, how come I'm always getting shit on in this? Like,
right.
I'm the one who has to cook the tin cans or whatever. Like,
yep. To come save your ass all the time, Valerian.
Yep. Because you suck at your job.
How did we like Ethan Hawke as Space Bono?
Oh my god, that was great.
Fun. I totally forgot he was even in the movie.
Oh man,
Yes.
it was a fun surprise for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just recently dealing with being the avatar of Egyptian gods, and now he's in this. So
Yeah.
Yep.
that
He's
was
in
really
that
cool.
Black Phone movie too. I want to see.
Oh, that's right. He was kidnapping kids.
No,
Yeah,
don't show
wearing
that
a-
movie to me. That's scary.
Scary phone.
Very cool
I don't
mask.
like it.
Yeah,
I heard good things about it.
I,
I
did
heard
too.
that too.
Streaming on Peacock, so you
That
can see
is-
it for freeze.
Peacock.
If you have Peacock, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you don't,
And
it's still streaming.
the
there.
stuff that
Right.
I've heard is Danielle, that it's not like a scary like horror movie or something really. Like
It looked
It's more like,
it.
from what I could tell,
Well-
it's more like ghosts helping this kid survive and get the fuck out.
yeah. There's a phone in the room, and like he can kind of talk to the previous victims of the guy, and like they're helping him to get out.
And his little friend has like prescient dreams or something, and she's trying to find him on the other end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just sounds like I should not.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't do well with the scary movies.
No,
I don't like
it's not her thing. Yeah, so right about the time Space Bono shows up is where I started really having fun with the movie, because then he's like wearing an alien as a disguise.
Yes.
Shape-shifting
Which is
alien.
fucking great.
I liked her big hat.
I did like her big hat that turned out
The
to be a
hat
bowl.
plate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to cut your scalp off with this lemon.
See, that all was silly and fun, and I wanted more silly, fun stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
And, like, it turning into Assassin's Creed at one point, where he's just, like, stabbing everybody.
Yeah.
So that was the high point for me, but...
I also thought they did the right thing by just killing off the Rihanna character then. Like,
So she didn't have to stick around for the rest of the movie?
I don't even remember her getting, like, injured, but yeah, that's probably the right move.
Well, they didn't show it.
She just got covered in garbage.
She's like, I'm Jell-o, but stabbing hurts.
She was probably honestly not even dead. She probably was just like, I'm going to turn into dust and then I'm going to leave because I don't want to do whatever you're doing.
Like now I'm
totally
free.
dead. Leave me alone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they gone? Okay, cool.
Back to what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to dancing and stuff.
Back to my me time self-care.
But on her terms.
Yeah, and speaking of like scary movies, like The Exorcist would have been like no big deal if they had that lady there. You just been like, "Oh, you're possessed." Whoop.
Yep.
I take my daughter's soul back. Whoop. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm glad you brought it to me. Thank you. Whoop. I did also like when they're confronting the genocidal general guy. Like, well, you genocided all these people. It's probably cool if we just leave you alone. Like, you probably won't genocide them again, right? Like, promise you won't do that?
Sounds like nowadays. That's what we do. They've learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
they,
far
you know,
enough in
they
the
did
future.
eventually like tie him up in some vines.
Yeah. Like, should we save the only evidence of your crimes, or what? Like, what do you think, genocidal governor guy?
Well, I mean, you know, the people that got genocided don't care anymore. They're just like, we just want to get the fuck out of here. Like, can you, like, seriously, like we don't even want an apology. Like, just fucking let us go.
We just want to go.
Yeah.
Give us our
Can we
cute
just
converter and let us
live
leave.
our life.
Yeah.
Just let us live our life.
Yeah.
So yeah. Danielle at the beginning asked why the movie was like 2.5 hours long, and like, because there's 1,000 planets, hun.
They got to go to each one.
Got to go to every.
Yeah,
single
I
one.
don't think it needed to be
And they
2
did
hours.
by him bursting through the wall
Yeah.
of the habitats.
Which, you know, to be fair, like, was better than the Multiverse of Madness scene.
I do think that this movie actually would have been better, and I think that this is just me. I think I'm the only person that I know that really feels this way, but like, I do think this movie would have been better if they just had zero exposition ever.
Yeah.
And just dove into everything without telling you anything about it. Like don't explain what big fucking market is. Like, just walk into it and show what's happening, and have everyone be like, okay, what the where is his hand? Why is it in that box? Like, like, no, don't explain it. Just do it.
Like, just, you still got to have that guide guy, though, because I really liked him with the big ass turban.
Well, I mean, you can have him like telling you, like, put
Just
on the
go,
glasses.
welcome to
and
big market,
welcome to
you
big
know.
market. But like, you don't have to explain in words like, oh, you can't see anything without the glasses. Like, just show people putting the glasses on.
Like they did, and then you see it, like, oh, that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, don't explain like, oh, the trans matter box. Like, you can say it's a trans matter box, but don't
just leave it at that.
Don't say like, oh, you can only take things in and put things out from the market by putting it through the box.
Yeah,
right.
Don't explain that.
Yeah,
just show what happens.
Don't have to. Yeah,
and then you know, City of 1,000 Planets. Don't say that that's what it is. Just show up to it and tell them like the
just
radio.
Show up to Alpha.
Yeah, the radio says like, you got a landing site. Like, come on in.
Yeah,
and then bust through all the different habitats and don't explain what they are.
And then we can be like, oh, there's a lot of different environments here.
Right,
that's crazy.
That means there's a lot of aliens. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you. Like, I feel like for these kind of things, like, they're just better if they don't try to explain it. Like, have your own internal logic or whatever. But like, I just get bogged down. Then I'm like, so what the hell? Like, his one hand was in there, and the other hand, and they could see him, but they couldn't see him with the transmitter
just
box.
his hand. Yeah.
Then I get in the weeds too much.
He got
more fun if you don't stop.
he got like spray paint erased.
Yeah,
from
see,
the
they
other
could have seen
dimension.
his hologram if the operative hadn't spray painted him, to be clear.
Yep.
So
I gotcha. And again, just do that, and like let's just go. It's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Treat it like you have one page of a comic book that you have, and you don't have time to put a whole bunch of narration in.
Yeah.
Just show me what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, would you recommend this movie, Danielle?
Not to my friends. I don't think they would be interested. But
Wow.
they wouldn't be
That's
interested
fair.
in it. But I wouldn't say bad things about it.
High praise
Yeah.
from Danielle, at
That
least.
is
That's
more
good.
than I expected to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was not. It was one of the better ones you had me watch. So
Wow.
Wow.
Cool. I'm glad.
So I'm going to go on a limb and say you'd watch this again before 2001, huh?
100%.
Yeah.
Would you have you seen The Fifth Element, Danielle?
I've not.
You should watch The
I
Fifth
think
Element
that's
because
when
that's
you guys should watch.
The Fifth Element is the better version of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that The Fifth Element is good.
It's really good.
It's really
It
good,
is.
and you should watch it. Like,
It's
just
got your
one of
favorite
my-
guy in it, Ian Holm.
Okay.
Everyone's favorite.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
It's got
Wasn't that
that.
Bruce Willis?
Yep.
It's got
Yeah.
Bruce Willis. It's
Uma
got
Thurman?
Sirius Black.
No.
Oh, who's got the pink hair?
Mila
Mila
Jovovich.
Jovovich.
Oh, okay. So not
Yeah.
okay.
It's like
you know, they're
her-
like the
Oldman.
same person to me.
It's got Gary
It's like one
Oldman.
of her first movies.
It is.
So
She was a model before.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you do have Sirius Black in it.
Yeah, Sirius Black.
He is one of my favorite villains because of his name.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
His name, which you're going to repeat right now. Go.
Jean Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
Mopping.
Love it. And his
Yeah.
weird plastic bowl hat.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It's like part of his head.
yeah,
Yep.
Like
it
he
goes
had
over
part of his head removed and like
But he's
That's
got
what
his
I
hair
always
that comes
thought.
out of a slit in it.
It's really
Fantastic. Yeah.
good. We'll have to watch it right now.
yeah, you should.
Tonight.
I feel like watching it.
Today. Well, Chris's, would you recommend this movie?
Yeah, I'd say people should watch it at least once.
Yeah.
So it's enjoyable.
Yeah, if you are in the mood for sci-fi and you want to watch something that's like not a fucking Star Wars or a Star Trek.
Right.
Right.
It's
Like
A Star Wars.
And-
fit the bill.
and I do honestly again like I really enjoy this kind of like schlocky action sci-fi
Yeah.
and like really would like there to be more of it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's reasonably well done, which this was. Like I liked watching it. It was entertaining from beginning to end, even if it had like issues with direction
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
writing. It was I don't know, still like a solid B-, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good assessment.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where I ended up also is like, it's certainly something I've never seen before. Like,
Exactly.
I think in the like comic book saturated marketplace we're in now, where you see like, oh yeah, they're going to do this exact storyline that you saw
Right.
back in the 80s, except now it's on the movie theater. Like,
Right.
like once I got over expecting it to be City of a Thousand Planets, I'm like, okay, this was like creative and new, and I appreciated that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it was.
So if they could have signed up for it knowing they were going to get 2 or 3 and like spaced it out a little more, I probably would have liked it. But you know, you can only
Honestly-
make the most expensive indie sci-fi movie ever made once.
That's
so.
true.
Yeah.
I would honestly really like it if they honestly this would be a really good CW show. Just
Absolutely.
like
Oh yeah.
like I would totally watch this with like some pretty young people that can't act very well. And
Yeah.
and some
But that doesn't matter.
some
Yeah.
shitty CG graph like I would
They're in
totally
a different
watch
time
it with
each
like
week,
the,
or have a nice arc, different planet. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm with
it would be great as a shitty CW show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could even be pretty good as like an HBO like high budget one. if they wanted
They
to pour
could,
it in for
if they
effects.
did it right.
No, see, I think that the more money you start to put, like, there's kind of an uncanny valley situation.
Oh yeah.
Like, it worked as a movie because it was, like you said, like the most expensive indie sci-fi, and I think it would work on the CW because like they would not have the budget to do it properly.
Right.
I think if you put it on like HBO, they would like give it like some mid-budget, and it would be like just bad enough to take you out of it.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to like on the CW where it's like so bad it just doesn't even bother you. Right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. And if they did it in like a 70s space adventure, like they had the set of Star Trek.
It
Right.
would be really funny if they did all like in-camera effects, or like all like, you know, when they do the ray guns, but it's actually just them like scratching on the film with a needle or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, CW, hire us.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right.
We've
We
got
make
right.
better
Better
decisions.
than your current people.
We've read like at least 4 of these comics, so we're experts now.
Yep, and
Right.
one of us knows things about business.
Right.
Which one is that?
I
I thought it was you.
Oh, no.
No?
No. You were mistaken.
No.
But you
I
got
could do it.
you
I
got
could do
those
it.
letters
I got
after
it.
your
Okay.
name.
Yeah, they don't
We'll
mean
let
shit.
Danielle.
I could do it. 100%.
Okay, all right, Danielle, you lead
That's
the
some-
charge.
Yeah.
Cultural
I'll do it.
comment
got
there,
all the-
Travis, on the NBA.
I'm just saying, all you have to do is show up. They give you
Okay.
it. Just keep going to the classes. They'll just give it to you.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
wow.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So I know it's only been like a week, but do you guys have anything else that's good?
No, just get ready for new school year to start,
School.
and that's happening tomorrow. So, try not to be too nervous about it.
You're gonna
Oh.
do like future
Yay.
school where it's like video based.
Yeah, but we're not doing that for probably a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
So this full first week has been planned out by the principal. Everyone's doing the same shit. There's not really any instruction going on.
Yeah.
It's going to be more like getting used to the school and helping kids learn their schedule and routines, going over the rules, kind of community building essentially a bit.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. It's nice to know there's not a lot of pressure the first week other than like, let's just chill with each other and get to know each other and
Mhm.
kind of talk about how we live together here, you know, at school.
Yeah. That's cool.
And then I think the second week, there'll be, I don't have to come up with it, the Miss Wilkerson, she's like the main math person at school.
Yeah.
She's got stuff to do for them, but that's going to be more like, she explained it to me, especially for 6th grade, like getting into the mindset of, hey, we're all math people, and this is how. Because even when you're like just solving a problem in life, that is kind of math. Like you're getting in that mindset of finding solutions. So like gear from there to like get them prepared for regular learning when that starts up.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because basically, I think for reals, that teacher is going to like zoom in and and whatnot, and I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll figure it out. It'll be neat.
Yeah.
Cool.
That sounds
So-
interesting. It's very futuristic.
It is, and there's kind of a lot of thoughts even I have about it. I'm like, okay, so in a way, this is like a solution for the teacher shortage,
Yeah.
but I'm also afraid that like school districts and state governments are going to be like, good, we'll just not hire more teachers.
Uh-huh.
Instead of trying to deal with the very large systemic issues of why your teachers keep quitting on you.
Right.
We don't
So-
pay attention to that.
No, it's
We can't
clearly
focus
just
on
some.
that.
No,
Not our
exactly.
fault.
We'll
It's
just
gotta be
we'll just
teachers'
make
faults.
some poor teacher in Colorado who signed up for it just zoom into these classes and teach all these extra kids.
You
Man,
teach
you're living
everyone
in
now.
Colorado and teaching.
Teaching in
Well-
North Carolina.
I mean, they don't have to teach the history class, so yeah, they can totally do that. Math is the same everywhere.
This
Right,
is the
but,
same
like-
everywhere too.
But
No,
like,
we have well, this
Oh,
8th
no.
grade, it's
Seventh
eighth
I'm
grade
just.
grade now
do they
doesn't
get
have-
paid in North Carolina dollars? Because I
No.
can't imagine living in Colorado and.
I imagine it's on I don't know, whatever company they work for, so who knows.
Yeah.
But like history here, Travis, at least for 8th grade, is North Carolina history.
Okay.
Yeah, in 7th
So-
grade, it's Texas history.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
no
Yeah.
one needs that.
It's
no one needs
ours
these
is.
individual states.
But, like,
like,
it's
no
not
one
like you
cares.
can't learn
I
it 'cause
kind
you
of
don't
wish
live-
we'd had that, like, because from doing it last year, like it's basically U.S. history and North Carolina history tied together.
Yeah.
That's how they manage it. Like, so this was happening in the country at the time, and then we'll zoom in on North Carolina to see how that impacted us. What did that mean? like, what did the colonial period mean for North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many native tribes did we move around and why?
Right.
And things like that. So I'm like, okay, this is a little more interesting.
Yeah.
But
not Texas history. Texas is dumb as shit. We don't need a whole year of history.
well, that's because Texas is all like, woo, Texas. We're not actually going to take the historian's view on this and do a deep dive and then pull it back out so 8th grade or 7th grade.
I want to be
can
like, I
understand
need
it.
to elect my student out of this because we don't want to continue to live here in the next few years, and he does not need Texas history. We will never think of you again, Texas.
Wow.
I don't know. You guys have been there long enough now. Are you ever actually leaving?
We will leave
I just
eventually.
figured you were Texans for the rest of
you
your
keep
life.
threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all that sounds very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other Chris.
I've been rereading a manga lately.
Nice.
It's called Domekano, Domestic Girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've talked about it on here before. I may have, actually.
I
don't know.
You might
But
Rent a Girlfriend,
nope.
but you've mentioned that one, but I don't think Domestic Girlfriend.
Okay, so the way that the story starts out, and this will probably tell you whether or not you're interested in it at all. But the way the story starts out is there's a guy, he has like a giant crush on his young English teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And like they have like kind of a weird sort of flirty relationship, I guess, because I don't know, they're maybe a little bit closer than they should be, I suppose.
Okay.
But like he's really into her, but he knows that it's like never gonna happen. Like
right.
he's kind of like floated it carefully, and she's basically given him that like oh, you know, you're such like an important little brother or whatever kind of thing.
Oh man.
You know how it goes. And so he's like, I gotta get over it. I gotta try and like get this out of my fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He goes to a party at the insistence of one of his classmates. You know, basically like, hey, I met this girl, like she's gonna bring all her girlfriends to the karaoke, we're gonna go, we're gonna hang out, it's gonna be fun. Kind of shit that happens in manga all the time.
Right.
And so they go to karaoke, and he's sitting next to this like really quiet girl. She won't sing any songs. She doesn't seem like she's having any fun or anything. And she eventually like wanders out to like go get another drink, and he like finds her in the hallway, and he's like, so hey, like you seem like you're not really doing okay. And she's like, no, this is just how I am. Like I'm just quiet. I don't talk much.
Oh.
Like I'm not like, you know, not having fun or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, you know, you want to get out of here?
Yeah.
And
right.
she's like, sure, yeah. And so they like go wander around and stuff. And then she's like, actually, I want to take you somewhere.
Uh-oh.
And
Never go
so
to a secondary location, guys.
They start walking.
Uh-huh.
And then eventually they arrive at her house.
Uh-huh.
And she takes him inside and is like, so hey, you want to bang? And he's like, what? Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
And she's like, you know, I just kind of want to get it out of the way. Like, I hear that you're supposed to feel something. I hear that it's like, you know, like there are things that you can't understand until you do it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I just want to get it out of the way. So will you know, just help me get it out of the way?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, you know, I need to get my mind off of this other girl. So yeah, I guess fuck it, let's just go. So
the best relationships start that way, by the way.
Yeah. So
what a good meet cute.
Yeah. So they have sex,
right?
And they're both like, well, that wasn't anything special. They're like, I don't know what the point of that was. Like, I thought you were supposed to like feel something, feel different afterwards, and like neither of them. They just kind of leave, like they just walk away, like whatever.
Well,
anyway,
pat their knees, like, well.
You know, like he goes and has like a conversation with his best friend about it, and his best friend is basically like, you lost your virginity, well fuck you. Like he's like Like, don't come in here, like, complaining, like, oh, I thought I was supposed to feel different. Like, no, fuck you. Like,
right?
Man. Anyway, but that's where the real story actually starts, is main character guy goes home one day, and his dad is on the phone, and his dad's like, oh, and hangs up the phone, and he's like, so I wanted to tell you something. The person I've been on the phone with all the time lately, she's actually a woman. She's really nice, and we decided that we're going to get remarried.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hope it's the teacher.
Just wait. Just wait.
Just
wait.
I
So
see where maybe this is going.
So the dad introduces his new lady friend, and she's a nice older lady, but she's got 2 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go.
She's got 2 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guess who they are?
It's the one he banged.
Mm-hmm.
And
So the one
I don't
he
know
banged
who's the other one.
and the teacher.
Oh, they're sisters.
They're sisters.
Oh, okay.
And now they live together in a house.
Oh, and
boy.
they're like step siblings. Gross.
Yeah. They're
It's
step
not-
siblings now.
it's not blood relation, though. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's
It's
fine.
totally. It's 100% legal.
Yeah.
So is like marrying your cousin in some states doesn't make it right.
Yeah. What was that about North Carolina history?
Well, he got
It's not in there.
grandfathered in because he had sex with her before they became
That's true.
step siblings.
It's like,
Right.
oh no, that's like your perfect rom-com start. Like, how did I ever expect? What can I do now?
Right.
Comedy ensues.
Yeah. So the story is kind of like, well, navigating that whole like, it's weird that we're step siblings, and also like I still kind of like you, but and also like, I don't know. They introduce more girls because obviously they do.
Right. That's just what you do.
Never have enough girls.
Yeah. Most of them are just there for like a chapter or two. It's like the main focus is on the 2 sisters.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really fun story. They did make an anime of it.
Yeah.
Of course.
So you can watch that if you feel
Nice.
the need.
Nice.
But yeah, I'd recommend it. It's the kind of thing I like to read.
Right. Yep. Yeah, sounds good.
Speaking of something that could be a shitty CW show.
For sure. Actually, it wouldn't even be shitty. I think it'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, you should read it.
Yeah.
Or watch
I
the
don't
anime.
read anymore. I don't got
Sure
time
you
for
do.
reading.
Don't you read?
I only
romance
read
novels
the
or-
internet.
Aren't you
It's
reading
just
Bridgerton?
manga.
I
It's
am
not
reading-
even
It'd
hard
be easy
to
to
read.
read.
I am reading Bridgerton 4.
Yeah. See.
I'm like, I'm gonna finish it. I'm almost done, and then I'm like, I don't feel like pulling it out today.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how it
Cool.
ends.
Cool. Do you have anything else that's good? Maybe something you already talked about a little bit, and I cut you off earlier.
I don't know. Was there something?
Yes, there was.
What was it?
What were we watching last night?
Sandman.
Sandman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sandman.
The Sandman.
Sandman was good.
John Sandman.
It's not a show for everybody, though. I feel like it's like kind of a smart people show. So if you're not like a smart people, like
Well, I
don't
mean,
appreciate it.
I've never read
written
the source
by Neil
material, and I got
Gaiman,
that
so-
from that. So yeah.
Because like I was like, oh, this is so good, and I like told my mom and sister about it. I'm like, yeah, this is so good, but I don't recommend it for you two.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What was one
might
of
enjoy
my favorite things I've seen is there was I think it was a convention or like a book signing or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they had Neil Gaiman at the podium, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and they did a thing where they had him read people's impression of bad Neil Gaiman writing.
Yeah.
So it was like people submitted their like bad Gaiman, you know,
Right.
and then he actually like stood at the podium and read it, and it was fucking incredible.
Nice.
And I should now like because he has such a strong voice, I guess,
Yeah.
in his writing, like and yeah, the way that they were imitating it was fucking perfect, and you could tell that he was like thrown by it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
His Twitter is apparently on fire.
Yeah.
Like lighten these different people up on stuff. Like, it's apparently really good. I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, he loves to like tell people off on Twitter.
Yeah.
And like he does it in a way that it's like you can't come back from that because he's correct.
Right. Yeah. Well, especially there's been a lot of stuff about this show and like the casting for it. People are like, if you look at the comics, like Lucifer was definitely supposed to be David Bowie, and he's like, yeah, there was a problem with casting him though recently. Like, we really wanted David Bowie, but he was just not available for some reason.
Yeah, he actually resides. Maybe he resides in actual hell. We don't know.
Oh,
we don't know for sure.
Not Bowie.
Oh my god,
no.
Yeah. Or just people being like, oh, you made Death like a black girl. Like, yeah, she's like blue in the comic. Like, people aren't blue. Like, they can be.
I liked Death. Death was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I read
in the comics too.
Or I saw a thing actually where he was talking about like why did you make Death that way? And he's like, well, because when I die, that's the death that I want to meet. Right.
Yeah. I think she even says in that episode, it's like they just want to see someone like friendly. Like, yeah. If that lady showed up anywhere, I'd be like, well, let's see what's going on.
Yeah, let's go for a walk.
Yeah, I'll talk to this person. So, what was your favorite episode?
Not the one that went crazy.
24/7.
That one was
the
really
diner
crazy.
one.
I don't know. I like him when the Morpheus guy is actually in it. Some of them he wasn't, and I like the ones better that he was in because he was a good cast. I don't know anything about the comics, but like he was a good casting decision. Yeah, that's comic accurate though. Like every once in a while, he's just not in it, except for at the end. Right. Which is one of the cool things about the whole series is like he can just go off and do whatever. And like this comic is just going to be Shakespeare's Twelfth Night performed for the fantasy characters it was written about. I liked that one. I liked the one that he kept going back and meeting the guy over. Oh yeah, the guy who decided he didn't want to die. Yes, and so he meets him every 100 years at the same bar. That was pretty cool. That was a good episode. Yeah, just to see if he wants to die ever. Right. Turns out he still he liked living. It was pretty cool. Even when like stuff was really awful for him, he's like, so you ready to die now? And he's like, nah. Let's try it. Still doing it. Make a run out of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. I actually really liked that diner episode 24/7, but I also liked the comic it was based on, where you just kind of have a bottle episode with people just going slowly insane because he's insane. Takes away their ability to tell social lies and just sees where everything goes for there. So. Oh my god. I don't like to see.
That sounds like some fucking Sartre.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to see Professor Lupin like that. He's supposed to be a good guy.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was insane.
That's true. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I hope they get a second season, although it's kind of up in the air. Somebody's going to get a second season of it. They would be dumb not to. So if Netflix doesn't want it, someone else needs to pick it up. Yeah. I would say HBO Max since it's a WB property, but apparently not. Although we haven't watched The Dream of a Thousand Cats yet. I'm looking forward to that one. I want to watch it with the cats. I hear cats like to watch it. Well, that was going to be my what else is good too, but specifically Neil Gaiman's Twitter, because it's always a good follow anyway. But yeah, in particular, roasting people complaining about casting choices. Like, how dare you make this like Dream of the Endless person a different race than what I expect? Like,
he's just
like, he's not really even a human, right? Like.
They just love to bitch about casting. Like, I can't wait to watch that Wednesday show and see how great Luis Guzman is going to be in it. And everyone's complaining about him.
Oh, the Addams Family?
Yeah.
Addams Family.
It's called
Wednesday. Did you guys not remember anything about the Addams Family?
Yeah, like he was a weird-looking dude.
Come on.
Right?
He looks just like the animated cartoons. Like,
also he's got like a sense of humor.
Right.
Like he's actually a funny guy, and I think it could work.
It's gonna do well, I think.
Yeah. Like Raul Julia was way too pretty to be Gomez Addams. I'm sorry.
Yeah, everyone got spoiled by him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, man, he's an alumnus of Greendale Community College.
Who? Luis Guzman?
I think.
Wasn't he? I think so. He was the most famous graduate, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
they put up a statue of him.
Yeah.
At Greendale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
Louis
most famous
Guzman was
graduate.
in Waiting, the best movie ever.
He was in
Waiting?
wasn't
Yep, he put stuff down his pants and then put it on the plate.
he? Yep.
When
I remember that.
When they wanted it cooked more.
Oh.
I remember
Yikes.
that.
All right, that's a good sign to end.
Yeah.
Wasn't Dane Cook in that
He
movie?
sure was.
No. Waiting?
Yeah.
He was one of the chefs.
Oh, but also
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds,
Ryan Reynolds
was the,
was
Man, oh yeah,
was the
Dane
main
Cook
guy.
was one of the chefs in there. I forgot.
He got all pumped up with that speech, like, man, I can't wait to quit this place.
What a
Think about
crazy
that
movie.
every corporate meeting I have.
Everyone.
Every corporate rah-rah meeting, I say that to myself.
Man, I can't wait to quit.
Yeah, I can't wait to quit this place.
That's how we all feel.
Can't wait to quit this podcast.
Let's do it right now.
Fuck you guys.
Well, we can do
quiet
it.
quit this podcast right now.
That's right. We're
Gonna quiet quit it.
We're gonna only do
I'm
what we're
reading
paid
about
for.
teachers quiet quitting.
We're only gonna do what we're paid for on this podcast. So fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Turn everything off. Shut it down.
I gotta go.
Shut it
now.
down.
People are
I'm turning off the
messaging me.
recording. Stop.
Okay,
Fuck it.
stop. I'm stopping.
Okay, that was our session for today. And yes, sadly, the season is already over. But of course, there are like 9 more volumes of the Valerian and Laureline comic collection out there if you liked what we covered so far. And The Fifth Element is available if you liked this movie and wanted to see something similar and better. Also, if everything goes according to plan, we'll be back in just a few weeks to jump right into our next book, tailor-made for the spooky season. So don't touch that dial, or whatever the podcast equivalent of that phrase would be. Anyway, really just one on second thoughts today, and that's to say thanks, as always, to you, of course, for listening, and to my co-conspirators on the pod. You're all the best, and I really just love the chance to hang out and chat about cool shit with you guys. It's crazy to think that we've been doing this for over 3 years now, but I'll do 3 more in a heartbeat if you let me. And to that end, small and optional homework for you if you're up to it. If you dig what we've been doing here, a free way to help us out is to go to wherever you get this show and rate and leave a review. You don't even have to be nice if you don't want. Or if your podcast aggregator doesn't have that option, you can go find us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Podchaser and leave a review there. Or, and this really is the ultimate, you can personally tell a friend who you think might dig this too to check it out. Word of mouth is way more powerful than a search algorithm, and the best way for us to reach new ears. Or, don't, which I can't stress enough is perfectly valid. We'll still like you either way. Today's episode was transmitted directly to your brain via Space Jellyfish Memory Scan, with thanks to Chris Ham, Chris Other Chris Jacobson, Danielle Neither Chris Rowe. It was edited by me, Travis Rowe, and was sponsored by no one in particular. Until next time, keep fucking reading. So I started playing a game which is very bad for me. You might have heard of it. It's called Genshin Impact.
I have
Oh
heard of
my
that.
god.
This is the worst game ever made for me.
For you?
For me.
Yeah.
There's
You
so-
rolling them gotchas?
Yeah, no, not so much that. It's like there's a million things to do in it, and they're all really easy. So I
Yeah.
can't ever just stop.
You can't just stop.
I'm like, well, I did the one thing, but there's like a marker over there I can unlock, so I'm gonna go do that. Oh, and there's a treasure chest I can unlock to get shit I never use.
Yeah.
Like I have to level up all these people that aren't even on my team, just in case they ever are.
Right.
It's the worst.
It
Sounds like it.
it sounds like a lot.
It's the worst. Like I need to
Right.
remove this, or I'll just keep playing it.
You gotta collect all the stuff though.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I'm like, oh, there's ingredients here. I better get ingredients to cook stuff that I never use because you just don't need to. And so many materials to upgrade weapons that I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And people that I don't have. And just bad news. Because all the numbers just go up.
All the numbers.
And when they go up, I feel good.
Yeah.
Even if I haven't done anything at all in the game or otherwise. So.
Right.
Yeah. It's just weird. Although I did do a quest to help a lady cook a 300-year-old, not a wildebeest, like a warthog that had been frozen in a cave. But she used it to win a cooking contest. So, like, this 300-year-old meat tastes great.
See, I've heard it does not.
Cave aged.
It's super freezer burned and not good.
Yeah. Well,
somebody did an experiment like that with a mammoth body they found in, like, Alaska. And it was not good.
No, I bet not.
They cooked it up. Like, the meat's still here, but it tasted bad. Very, very bad. After, like, 20,000 years.
I mean, but what's your point of reference? Like, you don't know what fresh mammoth tastes like.
Yeah, but probably not, like, 20,000-year-old freezer burn mammoths.
It might be better.
I doubt it.
It might be bad, but it still might be better.
I've had to eat, like, freezer burned beef. It's not good, so...
Well, then everyone's like, this is so good. Like... But we only had one warthog, and now it's gone. She's like, well, shit. She's like, well, I know the technique to cook it now. We can just get different meat.
She throws a smoke bomb and disappears.
Just disappears. Yeah. So don't start playing Genshin Impact. That's my advice to you.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to.
Me neither.